A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I am Karishma, your host on behalf of SEMS Welfare Foundation and the entire team. Welcome you all for the today's knowledge session on Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress at 12 p.m. It emphasizes that investing in women is not just a matter of human rights, but also a fundamental strategy for building an inclusive and equitable societies. It recognizing that empowering women leads to positive ripple effects across economies and communities. Now, let me introduce about organization SIMS. SIMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, DG Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upscaling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. In just a short time, SIMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women leadership in various industries. This session is collaboratively organized by FameLeads. FameLeads, another SIMS initiative, empowers women through workshops and stories of successful female entrepreneurs. We conduct programs on digital literacy, marketing, and career development, reaching over 1,000 women across multiple states. This initiative recently reaches a milestone of 100 women actively involved. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Marut Joshi. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from Mr. Marut Joshi. He is a true professional who bridges the gap between art and science. As an illustrator, he brings creativity to life. As a speaker, he inspire audience. As a nutrition consultant and nutrigenomic counselor, he provides invaluable guidance of personalized health and wellness. So please welcome Mr. Joshi. Sir.
Yeah, thank you for this great introduction, and thank you for inviting me to this summit. So now this day is something which pumps and which pops up every year, like any other day which we celebrate. But the problem remains the same, and it's been a little bit imperative to discuss that why we are always sticking to one kind of narrative every year. I mean, we all know that gender diversity is important, equal representation of both the sexes is also important. Still, we need a webinar or a summit or somebody who is at a high intellectual position to lecture us about the importance of this every year. Like, if we gonna ask a random stray person on the street, what are your thoughts on that? Even just for the sake to impress us, he'll also say that gender diversity, women empowerment is important. But why it is important, what are the incentives behind that, and to what extent it is crucial. So I'll put some light on that thing, and all of you are free to ask any kind of a questions that pops in your mind. We'll take you through this very short journey through my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so the theme of the webinar is invest in women and accelerate progress. So we're going to learn about the incentives that we earn by doing that, the importance of this particular theme, and how it is related to our future policy making, and yeah, why it is important, why it is crucial. So now coming to the first slide, we need to discuss about the urgency of gender equality. Now, gender equality has its own benefit in various domains. So the first thing that we're going to encounter is increased productivity. So when women have equal access to education, training, resources, they can contribute fully to the workforce. This leads to increased productivity, innovation, and economic growth. A few points that I have to highlight about this, it might result in diverse perspective, which are very important for problem solving experiences which any workforce or which any MNC faces. Secondly, it greatly improves the business performance. Studies have shown that there is a strong correlation between gender diversity in leadership and in improved financial performance. Companies with more women leaderships are doing well off as compared to the company where female representation is not to that extent. Now, The other benefits which we see in the economic market with gender equality is better understanding of consumer market. Women often make significant portion of consumer purchasing decisions. Having more wisdom about this, especially when it comes to marketing and product development, can lead to the better understanding of consumer mindset, thus bringing more and more business. Now, the other benefits that also this particular thing caters is that is positive impact on workplace dynamics, enhanced collaboration and communication. Researchers have suggested that diverse team tends to have better communication and collaboration dynamics. It also increases the employee engagement and retention. Now, the key takeaways from this particular slides can be that if we embrace gender diversity and equality, companies can unlock wealth of potential, improve their bottom line, and create more positive and productive work environment. Second thing, poverty reduction. Empowering women economically directs impact poverty reduction. Women tend to invest their earnings back into their families and communities, which improve health, education, and overall well being. Supporting women entrepreneurs and providing access to financial services are vital. Now, if we talk about the social strata, a few things that are also important in this particular domain. The first one is improved health and well being, stronger communities, and educational advancements. Now, it also helps in breaking down the societal barriers and challenge the traditional norms which have kept women limited for years. Women development empowers them to make their own choices and decisions, breaking away the restrictive social constraint. It improves health, education. They are more likely to prioritize their own and child's and family health. Women economic development contributes to household income and
अनुराग
eradicating
भदौरिया आ गया
poverty. Gender equality also reduces social inequalities, which leads to more just and
सारे वहां
inclusive
पे
society.
दर्शक बैठे हैं देख ही
When women
रहे
are
हैं
actively involved in community decision
किसने
making,
बोला था वोट
it
जिहाद
leads
कर
to more
मर के
inclusive and
कारण से
effective solutions.
बच्चों को बिठा के क्या सिखा रहे हैं और अगर हिंदू वोट में एकजुट हो जाएंगे हम क्या दूसरा साथ हो जाएंगे बच्चों को बिठा के क्या सिखा रहे हैं
I would
समाजवादी
request,
समाजवादी समाजवादी
can you please mute your mic? Yes.
Please change the slide.
Yes. Shall I continue?
Sir, the slide are not changing.
Slides are not changing. Wait. Yes. So studies have shown that gender equality is linked to greater peace and security. Women involvement in peace building and conflict resolution process can lead to more sustainable outcome, which
क्या
results in driving of
वहाँ कोई
sustainable
नहीं है?
development.
अच्छा, तो कैसे किसी ने कह दिया कि
I would request that if somebody can mute their mic. I
बोल रहा
mean,
था वो?
it's really, really not done. I mean, can you please request them to mute their mics for a while? I mean, there's a lot of interruption. Yes. So now moving ahead, there is a mathematical correlation when we talk about economic GDP growth and reduced poverty and women empowerment. They go hand in hand. But before we can understand this equation, I would just want to celebrate few of the women who have played a pivotal role in politics and advocating economic development for other women also, and at the same time gender equality. So I would love to discuss about the example of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As a US Supreme Court justice, she championed gender equality and women's rights throughout her career. Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected to US Congress, she fought for the racial and gender equality. Margaret Sanger, a pioneer for birth control movement, she advocated for women's reproductive rights. Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani activist, she has been a global voice for girls' education and gender equality. Last but not the least, Indira Gandhi, as India's first female prime minister, she broke all the barriers in male-dominated landscape. So these women, among many others, have left an indelible mark on the history. Who inspire you the most? I would request if you know any women who have inspired you the most, you can write that in the comment box. Now, coming to this slide, women and GDP and reduced poverty. I want to focus on this powerful equation because it is practically demonstrable. So let me start with an example. When we empower women, we don't just uplift individuals. We elevate entire economies. Increased female participation in the workforce, in leadership roles, and in entrepreneurial venture directly fuels countries' GDP growth. Studies have consistently shown that the potential of the country can be reached to its highest if there is an equal representation in both the sexes. Why? Because we are unlocking the potential of half of the population. When we break down the barriers to women education, employment, and access to resources, we unleash a powerful engine of economic growth. And that growth isn't just about numbers on spreadsheets or Excel sheet. It translates directly into poverty eradication. When women earn, they invest. They invest there in family, in child's education, in their communities. They are more likely to prioritize health and well-being, creating a ripple effect, as my co-representative clearly mentioned in her introduction, it creates a ripple effect that will going to strengthen the entire social fabric. Investing in women is not just a matter of social justice. It's smart economics, which has been played upon by developed countries for years. It's about creating a prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future for everyone. By championing gender equality, we're not just changing the lives, we're also putting a stepping stone in towards building a better world in terms of quality as well as quantity. Now, let's talk about the social imperative. One thing that we have been discussing in every Women's Day, but since I don't know why it hasn't been eradicated yet, but it's worth talking upon till date, which is sad and reduce gender-based violence. It's a critical imperative, by the way. It's not just a woman issue; it's a human right issue. Gender-based violence in all forms, from domestic abuse to sexual harassment, is a pervasive scourge to undermine the safety, dignity, and potential of countless individuals. It creates a climate of fear, perpetuates inequality, and inflicts everlasting traumas on life of innocent people. We must recognize that this individual violence is deeply ingrained in our societal structure and power imbalances. It is fueled by harmful stereotypes, a culture of impunity, lack of access to justice. We cannot afford to remain silent or complacent. You can't motivate a woman to move ahead in her life, to do well in her life, when social evils are sitting right above her head. So, this is something very basic which needs to be dealt upon, particularly in this part of the world. Now, here are few strategies which can be employed here. First, prevention through education, challenging harmful gender norms, promoting healthy relationships from very young age, strengthening legal frameworks which is there to protect individual, not to be biased against a particular sex, providing comprehensive support services, offering safe havens, counseling, and legal aid to survivors, and strengthening their position in society, especially when they are on their rehabilitation, giving them the respect which they deserve, engaging men and boys, encouraging them to be allies, not the critique, and active participants in creating a culture of immense respect for their sisters, for their mothers, for their daughters, for their wives. Giving women the economic and social resources to have control over their lives. It's not just about addressing the symptoms, it's also about dismantling the root causes. It's about creating a society where everybody feels safe and they can contribute to their full of their capacity. Now, moving ahead, which is the theme of this year, which is STEM education in women, which is important and at the same time needs to be encouraged with everyday passing. So promoting STEM education in women is crucial for achieving gender equality, fostering innovation, and it is also important to provide girls and young women with access to STEM resources and opportunities, challenging gender stereotypes and creating inclusive learning environment. Now, before we can talk about this topic and deep dive, let's celebrate the women who have done extraordinary well in STEM because that's the first step. We need to educate our women about these women so that they can be inspired and even we can be inspired and be bit ashamed that why every story has a one common villain which you're gonna soon figure out. So I'm gonna start with Marie Curie. Marie Curie life is a testament to unwavering dedication and pursuit of knowledge against all odds. Born as Maria Skotsko in Warsaw, Poland, young Maria possessed an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Under Russian occupation, higher education was largely inaccessible to women. Yet Maria's spirit remained undying. She worked as a governess, saving every penny to pursue her dream college in Paris. In Paris, she endured poverty, often working in freezing, poorly lit libraries and laboratories, but her passion for science burned brighter than any leadership or hardship. She met Marie Curie, a fellow scientist, and their shared dedication ignited a remarkable partnership. Together, they embarked a relentless quest, investigating the mysterious rays that were emitted from uranium. Their unwavering efforts led to the discovery of two new elements, polonium, named after Maria's hometown. Their work was groundbreaking. They coined the term radioactivity. She turned out to be the first woman to win Nobel Prize and later the first woman to win Nobel Prizes in different scientific fields. Now, the second picture which you see in this slide is of Rosalind Franklin, a brilliant chemist possessed a quiet determination that would reshape our understanding of life itself. Her journey wasn't about grand pronouncements, but meticulous work. She specializes in X-ray crystallography, a technique that could reveal the very minute detail of any molecular structure which is present out there. At King's College London, she focused on DNA, the molecule that carry our genetic code. Rosalind X-ray images, particularly photo 51, were breathtakingly clear. They revealed DNA double helix structure. Despite her groundbreaking work, she faced challenges of male-dominated scientific world. Her colleagues, Morrick Wilkins, without her permission, shared her crucial data with Watson and Crick, tearing away and taking away all the glory from her. But that didn't stop her. She continued her work. She led to the crucial discovery with respect to the structure of viruses. So as we can see that there is a one common villain in both the stories, and still the women who are doing well in their life, you see same kind of struggle. I mean, endless stories, endless motivation, but still the results are same. So I mean, we need to be more forgiving, we need to be more supportive, and we need to cater the talent irrespective of its sex. So yeah, their story is a powerful reminder that brilliance can be found in quiet dedication. Scientific progress often relies on unseen contribution of many. Even when recognition is delayed, the impact of one works endures. Now, on the second slide, would want to celebrate two more females. The first one is Katharina
Sir,
Johnson. Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but your slide is not changing.
Now is it there? Is it changing?
This not change.
I hope it's now visible.
It's visible but not changing.
Actually, the most of the description that I've written, it's in my script, not on my slides. So yeah, the first picture that you can see in this slide is of Katharina Johnson, and the second one is Janaki Anmal. I forgot to write their names. Actually, I perpetually didn't write their names because let's why not celebrate them? Why not? Why I have to write their names? I mean, they वो किसी के नाम के मोहताज तो नहीं है ना. So I mean that's why maybe you guys will be thinking that the slides are not changing because most of the parts I've been speaking it's from my own script, not from the slides itself. I hope it's visible now. Okay, I'll go ahead. So the first picture is of Katharina Johnson. She was a brilliant mathematician, proved that numbers could launch dreams into orbits, born with a mind that devoured equations. She faced the barriers of segregation and limited opportunities for a black woman in STEM. Yet her talent was undeniable. Hired by NASA, then NACA as a human computer. The power of intellect to overcome any kind of adversity. The second black and white picture which you can see is of a South Asian woman, which is Janaki Anmal, a pioneering botanist dared to challenge the limitation of her time with unwavering dedication. She delved into the world of plant genetics, defying societal norms and scientific prejudices. From sugarcane research in India to cytogenetics in England, her work was groundbreaking. So these were like few of the what you call the main people who have like extra remarkable contribution. If I continue on if I continue with respect to the names, I can go endlessly. But let's keep it short. One more, which is very important in today's time. Any guesses? Who is she? I would want that you guys would be a little bit interactive. If anybody know, like, what's the name of this person?
Pictures are not visible.
It's visible right now.
No.
Wait.
So the first slide we can see only the first slide. Now
Oh,
it's visible. Now the slide is going.
oh, it's some issue with the internet, I guess, or with
Yeah,
my
now it's fine.
software.
We can say they recognizing the contribution of women in STEM. We can see that slide now.
Okay, wait.
Now we can
Can
it
you
is
see the first
visible.
two images?
Yeah, we can see these two images.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine
so
now.
I was asking about anybody have any guesses about her name? So who is this woman? If you have, you can write it in chat box. So her name is Kathleen Carrico. She is the person who has discovered mRNA vaccine for COVID-19. So her story is a testament to the power of unwavering belief of work. And for decades, her research on mRNA, a molecule which is crucial for protein production, was met with skepticism and rejection. Grant after grant denied, lab and lab closed. She persisted, driven by unwavering conviction that mRNA could revolutionize medicine. She faced setbacks, dismissals, and even demotions. But Kathleen never gave up. Working with her colleague Drew Weissman, she overcame the key obstacle of mRNA inflammatory response. The reason why I'm discussing her is because this will going to give motivation to people who are currently hustling and grinding in their life. I mean, against any adversary, against any odds, you can succeed if you truly believe in yourself. If you truly believe in the quality of your work. So yeah, if nobody supports, work on yourself. One day people will be compelled to promote you, to support you. So moving ahead, addressing gender gap in STEM workforce. I hope this slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, so yeah, like any other field in this country, gender gap persists in this field also. So now, women who study STEM fields are less likely to enter into STEM careers and exit these careers earlier than their male counterpart. World Bank on global trends in the participation of women and girls in STEM found, it's a data set, it's not written on slides, I'm reading on my own, found out that though graduation rates are higher among women than men, women are less likely to undertake any studies in STEM fields. Women who study STEM fields are less likely to enter into STEM careers or it exit their careers earlier than their male peers. Women in STEM fields publish less and are likely to underpaid. Women comprises 29.2% of STEM workforce in 146 nations evaluated in the Global Gender Gap Report 2023. Even though women made up 49.3% or almost half of the total employment across non-STEM occupation. So this is a field which has been badly infected with gender gap and still needs to work upon. Moving ahead, now if we have to talk about India, surprisingly it's a positive prospect. India has the highest number of STEM graduates in the world. The number of women choosing STEM courses has been steadily increasing. Even though India lags in women participation in STEM workforce, a great number of women drop out as they shift from STEM education into careers. According to All India Survey on Higher Education by Ministry of Education, which tracks enrollment in graduation, post-graduation and PhD level programs, the number of female graduates rose from 38.4% to 42.6% in 21 and 22. Quite simply, India has the highest number of female STEM graduates in the world, a vast and relatively untapped human capital resource. Now, if I have to talk about things that could be worked upon, which has been under discussion for a while now, that is that the government need to invest in gender equality policies and programs. It's a long term thing. It can't happen within 1 year, 2 years. The outcomes will be seen like bare minimum after 10 years or 15 years, but it has to start somewhere and it has to be everywhere, right from nursery to corporate setup. The components of it should be discussed in every domain if we want real time results. Now, the second point that businesses should promote gender diversity and inclusion. I mean, I have discussed very 2 slides about how business they can incentivize on this, how much business does this thing brings. So I mean, people in west are doing this, why can't we do this if it's a key to success and prosperity, especially in your country which is going through a lot of financial crunch and which has a lot of limitations. Individuals challenge gender stereotypes and advocate for change. You can attend n number of webinars, you can read many books, you can hear out many people, but you need to start practicing few things on yourself and then only you want to see the outcomes. If we do not treat the woman who is right in our house working, or be it's our house help or our mother or our sister or our wives, you can't see change happening every now and then. You need to start catering the women who are first around you. Break the stereotypes, help them out, see what they need, and help them. And sometimes they do not need their help. If we need their help, we need to have those conversations. We need to be transparent. We need to work on it. So that's it from my side. I'm open to any kind of question. I'm really sorry and apologize. I'm be apologizing for the mispresentation of these slides. If anybody needs them, I'll personally mail them. And
Please
that's it from my side.
give an example of Indian woman like Marie Curie and others you have mentioned.
Yeah, I give an example of an Indian woman, Janki Anmal, an Indian biologist. She has a path-breaking work when it comes to cytogenetics, and there are many more. Could have had more, but these are the stories which have personally inspired me, so I chose to mention them.
What government efforts to promote the woman in this field, STEM
Uh,
education?
Government is trying their best. They're putting the best work possible. I came across few CSIR projects which are specifically looking for female representation when it comes to research projects. In inclusion to that, I guess it falls under Beti Padhao Beti Bachao Abhiyan. But when it comes to specifically to CSIR and STEM, government is trying to encourage more and more female participants in government-based projects, which is a great thing. I mean, which is a great way of encouraging female scientists and females particularly, to pursue PhD and research work.
Is there any barrier of knowledge and talent than men,
Uh,
society of men?
या देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्टीरियोटाइप्स. बहुत सी चीजें हैं जिन पे लोग बात नहीं करते हैं, बहुत सी चीजें हैं जो कि खत्म हो जानी चाहिए थी, रिडंडेंट है, उसके बावजूद भी लोग उन्हें प्रैक्टिस में लेके आते हैं और वो उनका कैजुअल बायस बन जाती है. अब ये ना जानते हुए भी वो ये चीज अपनी डेली लाइफ में प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, एंड ये कैजुअल सेक्सिज्म बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. इवन इन वर्क स्पेस आप किसी को कुछ भी बोल देते हो, आप किसी के साथ कुछ भी सपोज कर लेते हो, एंड दीज थिंग्स creates a lot of roadblocks when it comes to creating a safe environment for females out there. So लोगों को भी सोचना चाहिए कि दिमाग की ज्यादा वैल्यू है, ना कि वो किस सेक्स को बिलोंग करते हैं, उसकी वो कितने प्रोफेशनल है, वो अपना काम कितने अच्छे से कर सकते हैं, ये चीजें ज्यादा जरूरी हैं. सो हाँ, बिल्कुल.
But there are legal framework also to prevent these
Huh?
things.
Every corporate and every school nowadays, colleges and corporates have posh, which is there to protect women. But that's something which I can't comment upon. There's something which females faces, and I mean it's prevalent. And ये चीज वो ज्यादा अच्छे से समझती हैं, and इस पे comment करना, it's not in my legal, it's not my jurisdiction. But I would say that these things have been done, but कहीं ना कहीं ये भी ineffective है. And टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट इन कुछ केसेस में ये एज अ टूल ऑफ ऑपरेशन भी यूज होने लगती हैं. बट आई मीन दिस इज समथिंग विच आई वुड like constrained to talk upon because it comes under the legal framework. But yeah, posh thing exists corporate mein, which which is there to protect women.
Right, sir. Thank you very much.
Is there any other question that someone wants to ask?
Ma'am, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
ask, no?
Yes.
So everyone is saying for a woman empowerment and equality, but I
Yes.
just want to ask, everyone is saying that women should go outside and work, but no one is considering on this that they want she work outside, but she do all the household work too. They are
Yeah.
not supporting on this.
Yeah, it's a great question. Today morning when I was going through my slides,
Yes.
one of my friend came to my house for a tea, and she saw my work, and one thing that she wanted to address, because I guess it's there in today's newspaper also, that now this woman who has done fairly well as compared to her peer when it comes to education and work life, now she has also have to do loads and loads of household chores when she
Yes, sir.
come back from her office. Now suppose if she doesn't do all these things, I mean, is there any backup? I mean, you have a child who is hungry, you have come home at night, you do not have a husband that can contribute to the work. Now is there any backup plan? I mean, can you say that I don't want to cook? Can I do? You can say, oh, I can't do this anymore. You can't. Ultimately, that person has to go through that drudgery and do the. So during these times, I guess a partner who understands the situation, a partner who truly believes in gender equality plays a very crucial role. That's why I said in my presentation that if you can't exhaust the fire which is there in your home, you can't do much outside. So you
Yes,
need to have a partner, you need to have a communication where he understands that cooking for loved ones or helping out loved ones in the kitchen is not weakness, it's chivalry, it's very much logical, and it will going to help the entire family in the long run. So these are the things that we need to be very clear upon. Every time it's not about feminism versus pseudo feminism, sometimes it's about rational, and it's about logic, and it's about being more human about the other person. That's it.
oh,
Yeah.
thanks, sir.
I hope it answered your question. I'm really sorry if I missed out your specific.
No, no. Then, on the behalf of organizing committee, I extend our sincere gratitude to Mr. Marut Joshi, our outstanding speaker today. We were privileged to hear some fascinating and thought-provoking session on invest in women, accelerate progress. Through his remarkable ability to convey information, Mr. Joshi shared us insightful discoveries and deeply motivations concept. His engaging participants captivated us and inspired us to reflect on the significance of fleeting moments. We appreciate the time and efforts he invested in delivering his enriching program. Thank you, Mr. Joshi.